You ever sit back, flip on an old sitcom rerun, and suddenly feel like you've time traveled? One minute you're chuckling at a grumpy dad in a threadbare armchair. The next you realize many of the faces on screen are no longer with us. Tonight, we're honoring the unforgettable cast of All in the Family. Those fearless performers who took ordinary living room squabbles and turned them into national conversations. Their stories, on and off camera, prove that laughter often walks hand in hand with heartbreak. Ready to meet them again? Carol O'Connor. Archie Bunker was blunt, loud, and impossible to ignore. Yet Carol made us love him anyway. After 4 Emmys, he kept working right up to his final years, even penning scripts under a secret alias. Diabetes took him in 2001, but his crusade against drug abuse, sparked by his own son's tragic overdose, still echoes. Gene Stapleton Edith's warm, "Oh, Archie," felt like a hug through the screen. Off camera, Jean was fiercely private. She turned down splashy roles, performed anyway the night her husband suddenly passed, and slipped away peacefully in 2013 at 90. Talk about quiet strength. Isabelle Sanford, Wheezy Jefferson bridged 2 households and millions of viewers. Before the spotlight, Isabelle escaped an abusive marriage, raised 3 kids alone, and punched IBM time cards between night theater gigs. She later claimed the first Emmy ever awarded to a black woman for a sitcom lead. A 2004 stroke stilled her famous laugh, but her trailblazing record stands tall. Sherman Hemsley. George Jefferson stormed into every scene like a pocket-sized hurricane. In life, Sherman valued privacy over headlines. He never married and guarded his personal life fiercely. Lung cancer complications silenced him in 2012, but the swagger lives on in every "Wheezy, we're moving on up." Mike Evans. Lionel Jefferson was young, sharp, and forever teasing Archie. Mike co-created Good Times yet faded from Hollywood's glare, focusing on family until throat cancer claimed him in 2006 at just 57, a voice that deserved much longer on the stage. Jason Wingreen. Harry the bartender poured drinks and perspective in Archie's bar. War veteran, Star Wars voice actor, yep, the original Boba Fett, and lifelong caregiver to his ailing wife, Jason passed on Christmas Day 2015, feeling Hollywood had already forgotten him. We haven't. Alan Melvin Barney Hefner, Archie's easygoing buddy, was just one notch on Alan's crowded resume, which also includes Sam the Butcher from the Brady Bunch and countless cartoon voices. Cancer ended his run in 2008, but his sound booth growl still powers Saturday morning nostalgia. Betty Garrett. Irene Lorenzo fixed toilets, drove forklifts, and told Archie exactly where to stick his old-school notions. Real-life Betty battled Hollywood blacklists after her husband named names to save their family. Decades later, she finally collected her Golden Globe and kept performing until an aneurysm took her in 2011. Vincent Gardenia. Frank Lorenzo sprinkled Italian warmth and a little garlic into the bunker neighborhood. Twice Oscar-nominated, Vincent died suddenly in 1992, while still in costume for a stage play. Brooklyn honored him with his own boulevard, perfect for a man who always felt between worlds. Mel Stewart. Henry Jefferson appeared only a handful of times, yet his razor-sharp delivery lingers. Mel mentored Danny Glover, mastered saxophone, and taught Aikido, but Alzheimer's slowly stole his memories before his death in 2002. Still, his artistic fingerprints remain on plenty of other talents. Bob Hastings. Tommy Kelsey kept Archie's bar humming. A childhood radio singer turned cartoon commissioner Gordon, Bob battled prostate cancer until 2014. He left behind a 66-year marriage, a brood of kids, and proof that steady supporting players hold shows together. Billy Hellup Burt Munson traded taxi chatter with Archie, long after Billy's early fame as a kid actor in the Dead End Kids films. War, alcoholism, and heart problems followed. Nursing became his second career. 2 heart attacks claimed him in 1976, age 56, gone before reruns could reintroduce him to new fans. Burt Mustin Justin Quigley, everyone's favorite chatty senior, didn't even start acting until his late 60s. He chalked up over 150 roles and finally bowed out in 1977, proving it's never too late to chase a dream. Gloria Leroy. Boom Boom Turner sashayed into Archie's bar like a brass band. Typecast as the voluptuous flirt, Gloria spent decades stealing scenes in sitcoms before settling into a quiet, solitary retirement. She passed in 2018 at 92, leaving behind a trail of comedic sparks. Sorrel book Boss Hogg on the Dukes of Hazzard may have eclipsed Joseph Sanders from Archie's Workplace, but both showcase Sorrel's comedic chops. A linguist who spoke a dozen languages and served in military intelligence, he lost a fight with cancer in 1994. Danny Dayton. Hank Pivnik lobbed sarcastic jabs from his bar stool. Danny directed sitcom episodes, but a haunting car accident and emphysema weighed on him until his death in 1999. His legacy? A reminder that comedians often carry heavier loads than we see. Scott Brady Joe Foley personified the no-nonsense tough guy. That fit Scott's earlier film persona perfectly. Respiratory issues tied to decades of smoking ended his life in 1985. Once tabloid fodder for gambling scandals, he finished quietly, minus the bright marquee lights. Dennis Patrick Gordon Lloyd oozed suave charm, just like Dennis off-screen, until a tragic house fire in 2002 took him and his loyal dog. More than 1,800 TV appearances, yet he died alone, underscoring how even busy careers can't guarantee company. Barnard Hughes, Father Majeski tangled with Archie on Faith and Morality. A Tony winner and Wabiabi-Watu veteran, Barnard lived to 90 but slipped into memory loss near the end, tragically forgetting the roles that had defined him for 6 decades. Bea Arthur. Before Maude got her own show, she stood toe-to-toe with Archie, delivering zingers like verbal uppercuts. Bea served in the Marines, championed LGBTQ+ causes, and detested being pigeonholed. Lung cancer ended her elegant sass in 2009. Barbara Kaysen Claire Packer graced a single episode, yet Barbara's gentle nuance lingered. Blacklisted-era stress and a heart attack ended her story in 1990, nearly unnoticed, a bittersweet fate for many background heroes. Priscilla Muriel Bernice was on screen briefly, but Priscilla's resume stretched across Family Ties and The Mary Tyler Moore Show. She requested her ashes scattered at sea in 1994, an ocean's-width departure from Hollywood hustle. Ruth McDevitt, Edith's friend Joe Nelson, radiated kindness. Widowed early, Ruth reinvented herself on radio and later TV, working into her 80s before peacefully departing in 1976. Bill Quinn, Mr. Van Rensselaer, the blind bar patron, offered quiet wisdom. Performing since vaudeville, Bill endured the unimaginable loss of 2 daughters, yet kept acting until 1994, proving resilience isn't always loud. Now, which of these legends made you laugh the hardest, or tugged the hardest at your heartstrings? Drop their name and your favorite memory in the comments. And if this stroll down sitcom memory lane lit up your evening, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss our next deep dive into TV history. Until then, keep the laughs rolling and cherish the storytellers who gave them to us.